Hello everyone! 19% increase is the volume of gas supplied to power plants in the month of April. In fact, precisely 19.14%, translating to 2,873 megawatts. And that must have touched your lives positively somehow. There's a whole lot of numbers where this came from. And that's the National Oil Company's Financial and Operations Report for April 2020. It's the 57th edition and loaded. Before that, gas is living up to its status of the new and beautiful bride of the industry, putting the affairs of the NLNG, BGT, even the PPMC in safe hands, as it were. New people, new ideas. By the way, did you know that NPDC is the 5th largest producer of crude oil in Nigeria? Now you know. But there's plenty to know about NPDC in this package against the backdrop of the company's biggest vision of value creation chain involvement. It's detailed. Welcome to the flagship program of the industry on Nigerian media. I'm Akin Agbejile. This is Oil and Gas Forum.
Very impressed with what I'm seeing, but I'm not very surprised because every organization that I know is as strong as its leadership. And today I know that the NNPC is definitely under strong leadership.
Let's take responsibility to stop the spread of the virus. Wash your hands frequently with soap under running water for about 20 seconds. Or use a hand sanitizer where water and soap are not available. Cough or sneeze into a tissue and dispose properly. Or cough or sneeze into your elbow.
Avoid large gatherings. Keep physical contact to no less than 2 meters. And wear a mask whenever you are in a public space.
Clean all surfaces frequently with disinfectant. And if you develop symptoms like frequent cough, sneezing, fever, or shortage of breath, call your state emergency number or NCDC's toll-free number on 0800 9700 0010. Take responsibility. Do it for yourself and the rest of us. This message is brought to you by the NCDC and funded by the NNPC IPPG team, an association of indigenous oil and gas producing companies.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the replacement of 4 of the 12-member board of the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas NLNG and 2 for the Bonny Gas Transport Limited BGT. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timipre Silva, informed that the replacement was born out of the need to infuse new ideas into the system. He listed the new board members appointed for the NLNG board as His Royal Majesty Dr. Edmond Dakoru, Chairman, Engineer Henry Ikemobi, Member, Engineer Rabiu Suleiman, Member, and Mr. Bitrus Nabasu, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, also as member. The NLNG board is made up of 12 members, 6 of which are nominated by the federal government. Other members include the Group Managing Director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Malam Mele Kyari, and the Deputy Managing Director, NLNG, Mr. Sadiq Mebornu, as Executive Director. He also said His Royal Majesty, Dr. Dakoru, was also approved as the President of the Board of the Bonny Gas Transport Limited, while Doyin Akinyanju and Abdul Abba are members. The minister noted that Kyari and Nabasu were also members of the BGT board. His Royal Majesty, Dr. Dakoru, was a former Group Managing Director of NNPC, former Minister of State for Energy, and also former Secretary General of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, in 2006. He became the Amayanabo King of Nembe Kingdom in 2008.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Malam Kyari, has charged the newly reconstituted board of the Petroleum Product Marketing Company, PPMC, to sustain all-season availability of products across the country. Malam Kyari, who made the call while inaugurating the new board of the corporation's downstream subsidiary at the NNPC Towers, Abuja, said PPMC was a vital asset critical to the delivery of the corporation's constitutional responsibility of energy sufficiency to the nation.
The PPMC is the lifewire of our country's supply system, and not just a business where it is a very strategic business asset of this company by virtue of even the provisions of the laws of the country, which says NNPC must guarantee energy sufficiency for this country. And the only major structure we have for the supply assurance is the PPMC.
In his remarks, the managing director of PPMC, Mr. Musa Lawan, said the company under his watch would continue to focus on profitability and efficiency in marketing refined petroleum products.
Our mission is to provide an excellent customer service in marketing petroleum products to domestic and international markets in an efficient, profitable, and competitive manner.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has advised against a swift relocation of tank farms from their current locations along Ijegun, Kirikiri areas in Lagos and other parts of the country in order to avoid a dislocation in the supply and distribution chain of petroleum products across the country. The corporation made the submission at a hearing by the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on relocation of tank farms in residential areas of Ijegun, Kirikiri. NNPC Group Managing Director Malam Kyari, who was represented by the corporation's Chief Financial Officer, farms, depots sited in residential areas, but would rather that some time be allowed to achieve rehabilitation of the nation's refineries and the completion of the Dangote refinery to enable the nation exit fuel imports.
It is not bad to think of relocation of depots, provided that is done gradually and in a phased manner.
Speaking earlier, while inaugurating the committee, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, said the ad hoc committee was set up to investigate the concerns expressed by the residents in order to have a fair assessment of the situation. Honorable Gbajabiamila, who was represented by the House Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Toby Okechukwu, acknowledged that tank farms and depots were critical components of the downstream petroleum sector and assured that the House would look at the issue holistically and make a decision in the public interest.
Tank farms across the country serve as an essential function. They are stores of economic value and a critical part of the energy distribution infrastructure in the country.
The National Engineering and Technical Company Limited, Netco, the Engineering, Procurement and Construction EPC subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, projects to boost its revenue earnings in 2020 financial year through participation in Ajaokuta Kaduna Kanu AKK pipeline project and the front-end engineering design FEED for the development of condensate refineries in the Western Forcados in Delta State and Asa North Ohaji South ANOH area of Imo State. This was disclosed by the chairman of the Board of Directors of Netco and NNPC Chief Operating Officer, Ventures and Business Development, Engineer Adeyemi Adetunji, during the 30th Annual General Meeting of the company, which was conducted virtually.
Netco performed well in the year 2019, in spite of the challenges faced in the industry. Netco was able to post a total profit before tax of 3 billion naira.
In his remarks, the managing director of Netco, Engineer Usman Baba, hinted that the company was working towards generating 41.5 billion naira revenue as projected in its 2020 business plan.
Netco will work assiduously to expand its areas of operation, invest in development of human and other resources, reduce its overhead costs, minimize risk. The company will continue to strive to be adaptable to the trends and requirements of the industry in order to remain competitive.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, in Abuja announced an increase of 19.4% in the average daily natural gas supply to power plants, which translates to 788 million standard cubic feet of gas per day, equivalent to power generation of 2,873 megawatts. According to the report, a total of 226.51 billion cubic feet of natural gas was produced in April 2020, translating to an average daily production of 7,786.17 million standard cubic feet of gas per day. The figure indicated an increase of 3.73% at 226.51 billion standard cubic feet compared to output in March 2020. Out of this figure, a total of 136.44 billion standard cubic feet of gas was commercialized, consisting of 36.99 billion standard cubic feet and 99.45 billion standard cubic feet for the domestic and export market, respectively.
The Nigerian Petroleum Development Company Limited, NPDC, an upstream subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, was established in 1988 to operate petroleum exploration and production business. Thus, the company became the first indigenous oil and gas company in Nigeria. NPDC core services include exploration, drilling, development and production. The company engages in oil and gas activities in the hydrocarbon-rich region of coastal Nigeria, onshore, offshore and in the swamp. Our operations are concentrated in 6 states, namely Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, Imo and Rivers. NPDC's vision is to be Nigeria's leading exploration and production company with significant global presence. Mission: NPDC is an oil and gas company operating responsibly, delivering value to stakeholders, and applying the best industry practices and technologies. NPDC is involved in 33 concessions, 26 oil mining leases, and 7 oil prospecting licenses. 100% ownership of 9 blocks, oil mining leases 11, 13, 64, 65, 66, 98, 111, 116, and 119. 55% equity in 8 blocks, oil mining leases 4, 26, 30, 34, 38, 40, 41 and 42. 60% equity in 5 blocks, oil mining leases 24, 60, 61, 62, and 63. Varied interest in 7 deep water concessions. Non-equity operations in 4 blocks in selected NNPC joint venture fields. We are currently the 5th largest producer of crude oil in Nigeria, the 2nd single largest producer of gas in Nigeria, the owner and operator of the 7th largest floating production, storage and offloading vessel in Nigeria, FPSO Mistras, with 1.03 million barrels of crude oil capacity. The growth witnessed by NPDC over the last few years is a testimony of the rising pedigree of local operators in the upstream sector of the Nigerian economy. And this is not unconnected to the federal government's support and confidence in the ability of Nigerians to compete in the sector where foreigners used to have an almost complete dominance. Taking advantage of the divestment by IOCs, NPDC leveraged the opportunities to transform from a small player with a production of 60,000 barrels of oil per day in 2007 to a major player with a current production of over 200,000 barrels of oil per day through the acquisition of equity in the divested blocks. We are not just adding value, but we are actively involved in the value chain creation of the oil and gas industry.
Glad to have you join us on the feedback segment of the program. My name is Abigail Ojobo. Precisely on Thursday, 11th of June 2020, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) kept a date with history when it published its 2018 audited financial statement for the first time in 43 years of its existence, in a bid to reposition the company as a transparent and accountable organization operating with performance excellence. The 2018 audited financial statement published on the NNPC website was signed by the Group Managing Director, Malam Mele Kyari. Our roving camera is out to sample the views of Nigerians who are the core stakeholders of the company on the published audited accounts.
That's a very huge development, a very massive development in terms of transparency on the part of public corporations in Nigeria. And the NNPC leadership, along with NAITI, should be congratulated for that initiative. But it is like the beginning. We hope it becomes a tradition and a culture where consistently they will be putting out these things in the public domain.
It's a worker development and it's very transparent. Everybody can go in and see what is happening there. And I emulate other organizations to do same. It's a very good one.
Yes, I saw it online and I went through it, and I think it's a very good one. I just hope other ministries can copy, and it should not just be in this regime. They should keep on doing it.
The idea is brilliant. It shows transparency. It shows accountability.
Mele Kyari promised when he assumed office that he will make the books of NNPC open. He will work more on transparency and accountability. Those are things we've been looking forward to from NNPC.
It is a beautiful development, a welcome idea. I really applaud the government for that, because it shows that the government are really trying their best to be as much transparent as they can be to the people that they should be accountable to.
Indeed, the NNPC transparency, accountability, and performance excellence tape management persuasion is working, and NNPC is an open book. And that's the much time will permit for this segment. Please stay tuned for the other segments of the program. have you join us again on this segment of the program. My name is Faith Ayuba. Did you know that the Bonga Floating Production Storage and Offloading FPSO vessel is one of the world's largest? Did you know that the Bonga FPSO is 3,000 meters long, the height of a standard 12-story building, and its deck is the size of 3 football fields? Did you know that it is configured to receive crude from production wells on the seabed in the Bonga field? The oil is processed, stored, and sent to a single point mooring that is used to load tankers for exports. Did you also know that when fully laden with oil, Bonga FPSO weighs 300,000 tons and is held in place by 500 tons anchors linked by 20 kilometers of mooring lines? Now you know. Don't go away. Global Crude Oil Outlook is next.
Hello and welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices eased after the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, and allies such as Russia agreed to taper record supply curbs from August, though the drop was cushioned by hopes for a swift United States demand pickup after a big drawdown from the country's crude stocks. Brent crude fell 33 cents or 0.8% to $43.46 per barrel, while United States West Texas Intermediate WTI crude dropped 42 cents or 1.0% to $40.78 per barrel. Prices rose 2% the previous day, helped by the United States crude inventories drop. Meanwhile, the Market Intelligence Department of NNPC's London office daily report indicates that OPEC Plus nations remain on track to scale back their production cuts in August after oil ministers from the alliance revealed the plan during an online meeting recently. Ministers, including those from top producers like Saudi Arabia and Russia, recommended sticking with the previously adopted schedule to dial the alliance's targeted production cut down from 9.6 million barrels per day in July to 7.7 million barrels per day in the 5 months from August through December. And that's it on this segment of the program. I am Owigo Okolo.
That's the Package on Oil and Gas Forum for this edition. Thanks for joining us. It's still the season of the new normal, and responsibility has come to the personal level. Let's take responsibility and keep safe. Enjoy your week.